Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jim Stahoviak. I'm the Associate Director of the Iowa Center for Assistive Technology Education and Research here in the College of Education at the University of Iowa. And you have tuned in to another one of our app webinars. Today we're going to take a look at an app that was created just up the road here in Waterloo, Iowa, or Cedar Falls, I suppose, Iowa, at Northern Iowa, University of Northern Iowa, one of our other region institutions here in the state. This is an app created out of their, it was a combination between their Department of Communication Science and Disorders and their apps lab, which is a group out of their entrepreneurial center. I think they work with their engineering department there, and they do create apps. And the app we're going to look at today is called Name That. Name That is right here. Name That is $5. We'll open it up and take a look at that. $4.99 in the App Store. And really what this is there's not much to this. It's something that aims at helping people suffering from aphasia to be able to kind of regain some of their word recognition, regain some of their speech by showing them the images that ought to be familiar to them, and then having them say those images back out loud, and by giving them clues as to what those images might be and allowing them to hear that as well. This is the main screen. Again, not a whole lot to this. There's an instructions button here. I'm showing this in portrait because if we move it to landscape, we can't see the whole thing on the screen. So we're going to use it in portrait here today. So if I hit start, what's going to happen is it's going to give me this image, and my goal is to name that. So it's just, how would you describe this? And so what the user would do when they're working with a therapist is say that word, and if they can't get it just by looking at the image here, they would press Name That, and it would get you could give them a hint as to what the word starts with, or you could give them the whole word. So we'll just do a starts with. It says is what it starts with, and so then maybe that triggers something in their memory that's an oven mitt, and so they could say oven mitt, or they could get the whole word, and then it would move on. Down in the bottom corner here, you see there's an option for next item. We hit next item. It says, where do you find this? So this isn't asking us, what is this? It's not spoon. It's where would you find this? So we'll hit Name That and start. Or it says, what is this? I'm sorry, not where do I find that. Where was I? Maybe it changed on me, but this is obviously a spoon. So it's a spoon, and then we can get that reinforcement that that's a spoon. Again, this is used with some of the treatments that they use at the Department for Communication Sciences and Disorders over there. Primarily, it's based around something called semantic feature analysis, and these images were chosen for reasons because of the words and the sounds that you make to say them. So you can't add your own images to this. So this next item, what would you do with this? Nothing is showing up there. We'll see what it is. I guess it's play hangman. Guess what this is at this point, but this would be, can't use an audio file. It's chocolate. So we'll hit next item. So again, this is kind of, so we might say, what does this do? It flies, and then we name that, and it asks, what is this? Again, starts with airplane. Hit next item. If we go through this whole thing, I'll just hit next item again. We get to the end, it says good work, and then it'll kind of reinforce one of the things that you did within this. So it'll give one image again. They'll have you say that, and when you're done, it tells you that you've completed, how many sessions you've completed with this, and you get asked to do another session. So if we go through another session, you're going to see there's different pictures in this. So we name that. That's an alligator. Name again a hat. Name again bananas. Name again peas. Thermostat. So again, this is you can tell by some of these pictures, this is not aimed at a younger student who might be developing language. This really is aimed at somebody with aphasia. So typically somebody that's had a stroke, somebody that's had a traumatic brain injury. You're gonna see a lot of pictures on here that might be something that a homeowner that would name. There's issues in here, like one of the pictures is dentures, so you would obviously have that would be an older person would know what a denture was more so than a younger person. That last hat that we just showed was a hat that you typically associate with somebody that's a little bit older. So this is more aimed at those people with aphasia because of a stroke, because of a traumatic brain injury, somebody that's acquired that aphasia, to kind of trigger some of their memory as to what some of these words are, what some of the sounds are made. That's about it. There's really not much to this. Again, this is a good speech development app. It does come out of Northern Iowa. It's $5. I definitely recommend taking a look at this, seeing if it's something that you would think that that would benefit some of your clients. But that's all we've got for today. We'll be back next week with another one before we head out on spring break here at the university. So we hope to see you next week. And again, if you have any questions, as always, you can go and download the ICATER toolkit. This is free, and it's got every one of the app webinars that we've ever done archived. Along the left side of the screen there, it has our tip of the day right in the middle. And so you have that information. You can always contact me by email at james-stachowiak@uiowa.edu. Give me a call at 319-335-5280. Thanks, everybody, and have a great day.